What's up, everybody? Marcus here. It's Labor Day weekend 2020. COVID is still upon us. My restaurant has been super busy, super successful. One of my best years so far. And I just want to drop some value here to any other restaurant owners or business owners, because this works for all types of businesses and the stuff I talk about. I've had the great pleasure of being able to take more time off than I ever have in the summertime, and it's been fantastic. Been doing a lot of day trips, overnight trips, 2-day trips. I just got back from a 4-day trip. I've been able to take a weekend off here and there and travel and eat some really amazing food, do some research with other restaurants. And so it's been awesome. COVID has been a positive for me in my restaurant. And I hope that you've been able to adapt and maximize what's going on right now. And the key in the beginning, I did a couple videos. In the beginning was just the quickness. You need to adapt quickly when something like this happens. And if you don't adapt quickly, you're out. You become irrelevant. If you're not getting people's attention, you become irrelevant. So I amped up my social media presence, my Facebook Live presence for my restaurant, which is why I kind of backed off for the coaching business, and I haven't written an article for Forbes in a while, and I even dropped out of one of my coaching programs that I was in, which I'm actually getting back into the coaching program, and I'm in 2 more coaching programs. I'm a firm believer of having a coach, having somebody hold me accountable, having somebody show me shortcuts. Shortcuts are things that other people have done. They're willing to share their knowledge with you, and your learning curve is going to be shortened, and you can get to your goal a bit quicker. So all about shortcuts, and coaching, being a coaching student has helped me take a lot of shortcuts. So I want to talk about what I've noticed this summer going to other towns. Let's face it, all this happened, my wife and I traveling this summer, because we worked our butts off for COVID. When this first thing went down in the beginning of March, we worked our butts off because we weren't sure what was going to happen. So we laid people off, slashed our payroll drastically, right? Worked harder than ever, opened up more hours, adapted very quickly into a grocery store, into a market, and takeouts, and redid our menu and pricing structures. And so we worked our butts off. And when we had our first chance, like after 10 weeks to take a legitimate day off, we're like, this is great. Let's take 2 days off. Let's do this, do that. So people are not willing to go into restaurants like they used to. They don't want to sit inside restaurants. They want to sit outside. As a result of people looking for this, people in their mind, how it's set up is, they're looking for curb appeal. They're looking for your best offer. This video is about putting your best offer out there, all right? So a lot of people have sidewalk signs. A lot of people have banners out front, signs out front. They have things now, more than ever, restaurants are displaying a message. Every business, lots of businesses, are displaying a message out front about what's going on. And what I'm about to talk to now works now, and it worked in 2019, 2015. It's going to work in 2025. Your message, that real estate you have out front, that window, that little fence, that parking lot, all of that where you can display your message is super important. People make split-second decisions. They make split-second decisions on if they like a place or not based upon some psychological bias. You can help them along with making quick-second decisions by putting your very best single offer, what's good in your restaurant, what makes them want you on these sidewalk signs, on your banners, on your TV screen, whatever it is, your sign out there. This has to be your best offer right now. And this is why you want to come in here, all right? People people don't want to read a sign that has a funny quote on it, and they're not going to make a decision based upon a funny quote. They're going to make a decision based upon lobster bake, $25, lobster mac and cheese, best smoked brisket in town, $14.99. Great craft beer, best craft beer. Your message on your sign, and I go through this myself, and we have a lot of sidewalk signs. Our streets are closed off for the summertime where my restaurant's at on the weekends. So we do our border with all these sidewalk signs. I bought a ton of them when this happened, and sometimes we give creative rights to our staff, or they'll see one of these sidewalk signs was damaged because it got water or rain, or they're trying to update something, and they'll write like wine, beer, spirits on there. Well, let me tell you something. Wine, beer, spirits. Okay, I guess we're back in here. The words wine, beer, spirits. Every restaurant has wine, beer, and spirits. So I did a little exercise with my staff the other day on this because somebody rewrote the board. The board looked great. Their penmanship, their handwriting, awesome. The colors they used, awesome. And I said, here's what the sign should say. The sign should say wine bottles in big letters, $9.99 in big letters, because we have a $9.99 wine special. It's to go. Smaller letters to go. And then $19.99 for dine-in. I want wine bottles $9.99 to be the highlight of there, because nobody else in town is doing bottles of wine for $9.99 to go. They're just not doing it. We were lucky enough to secure some high quality, decent, good wine at a great price where we can blow it out, and we blow out tons of these $9.99 bottles. So, but that's for takeout only. There's no other restaurant that's doing that. I've literally had people tell me, people have told me that they were sitting at other restaurants and they saw our sign, and it prompted them. One customer came in and goes, I saw your sign, I saw what it said, I like the thing on lobster bakes. I was sitting at the restaurant across the street, and I saw your sign after I sat down, and we decided to get up and come eat at your restaurant. They weren't going to come eat at my restaurant if the sign said wine, beer, spirits, because they're sitting down in a restaurant that has wine, beer, and spirits. You follow me? So your message has to be so strong, has to be your best offers, has to makes you unique, has to be something that other restaurants don't have, that will literally force them out of their chair while they're sitting in another restaurant before they order and saying, thank you, but no thank you, we're going to eat somewhere else. That's the kind of message that has to be outside. I had a conversation with a chiropractor on this too, and he's like, Marcus, you guys do a fantastic job with this message, with this grab message, with this grab-in message. And you look at our town. There's 5 restaurants on our block. 5 restaurants on our block. People will tell me very, very often, you guys are the busiest restaurant. And some nights people come in and say, you guys are busier than most of the restaurants combined in town. And I'm a small restaurant. I'm not a big restaurant. There's one smaller restaurant, maybe 2 smaller, but there's 2 restaurants in town that have a lot of seats that are 2 times the size. One restaurant's 4 times the size of me. And they're telling me that my tiny restaurant is doing busier than the other restaurants. The same thing, this is the same reason why, if you were to walk up and down a street, and there's 5 restaurants in a row, 4 of the 5 restaurants didn't have anybody sitting on the sidewalk, tables empty. 1 restaurant did have 2 tables filled, and the tables filled. The first thing your mind thinks about is, hey, that restaurant, there must be something good about it. It's like when you go to an Asian restaurant or an Indian restaurant and you see other Asians or other Indian people eating in the restaurant, you're like, the first thing your mind thinks about is, wow, if Indians come eat here, or Asians, people of that ethnicity are eating in that restaurant, this restaurant must be good because they know where the good food is. And it's just your mind is wired to think this. You see a busy restaurant, boom, I'm in. Let's face it, you walk up and down, if you were to walk up and down Bourbon Street and you saw 4 out of 5 restaurants were dead and 1 restaurant was happening, you'd be like, hey, what's going on in that one restaurant? What's going on in that one bar? I want to be part of that. One of the things that